Hi everyone, I'm Fiona and I am the face behind Life of a Crazy Mum blog. I started the blog quite a few years ago and my main aim was to raise mental health awareness. So when Mind Charity had a recent campaign asking content creators, bloggers, streamers to get involved to raise awareness and funds by doing live streams. I just had to take part, and I'll tell you a little bit about my story and why I got involved and why this charity is so important to me. And also, I'll tell you a little bit about what the challenge is all about and how I'll be hopefully raising awareness and funds over the next couple of days. So, to start with, it's a 15-hour live streaming challenge. Don't worry, I'm not going to sit here for 15 hours boring you to tears. But I will be chunking it up over the next week and I will be doing lots of different things surrounding mental health, whether that'll be how to build your own mental health toolkit, sharing some stories. Hopefully you can share your stories with me as well, so it's not just me talking, and also just some chit chat and banter, because obviously we're here to raise awareness and to get that conversation flowing. And we all know loneliness, especially during COVID, has been one of the big factors of a lot of people's mental health decline over the last couple of years. So I'm going to be your friendly face, chatting away about daily trials and tribulations of everyday life, and hopefully a few laughs along the way. So, hi to anyone out there. This is my first live stream, so I don't really know what's going on and how to work it. So hopefully you are finding me either via Facebook, TikTok, or I've sent out my YouTube channel as well. But, oh, hang on, I've been told I am not on Facebook, but let's try and rectify that for a minute. Oh God. See, this is running. I don't have a clue. I tried to download some streaming software and it was like, oh, just you know, you got to pay for everything basically. And I was like, oh, I'm trying to raise money, not pay through the nose for some streaming software. Anyway, so back to me. Who am I and why is mental health so important to me? Well, I have struggled with my own mental health probably on and off most of my life. But I didn't actually recognize it until I was in adulthood. And about 2008, so 2008, 2009 was the first time I got diagnosed with a bit of depression and got medicated. And then sort of come off that, and then 2019 was when I attempted to take my own life, and thankfully I failed. So the whole point of this 15-hour challenge is to raise awareness for that 1 in 15 people who will attempt to take their own life with it during their lifetime. So as I resonated with that statistic particularly, I thought that was the challenge I could take on. And I thought, well, I've probably got 15 hours worth of mental health content I can talk to you about and, you know, share upon my experiences, what I've learned along the way through different therapies, and also how I have helped myself as well. So medication is just one of the things that you can do to help. But there's also a lot of life skills that you can do to get the effects that you need to help yourself feel better. So that's a little bit about me. I don't want to depress you. The whole idea is to uplift you, but also to obviously raise awareness. So I've always been on the depressed side of the scale. I've been lucky enough not to really suffer with anxiety. I've had one anxiety panic attack once, and I thought I was having a heart attack. Uh, and the doctor was quite sympathetic, and they done the ECG down my local GP clinic, and assured me that I was just having an anxiety attack. So I can imagine how scary that is to live with on a daily basis. Depression's bad enough, but to be living with anxiety as well would just be, I think, quite difficult. So I sympathise quite a lot with that. I've also got two teenage children, although they're adults now, of my own. And, I think along the way, well, everyone's got mental health, whether it's good or bad, just like physical health. And you have to look after it, really. If you've got a broken leg, you go to hospital and you get it fixed. If you've, chopped your finger off, then you go and seek help. And it's the same with mental health. Some people cope really well, and they don't kind of understand the struggles, I think, sometimes of other people and how their mind can play tricks on you, really. So it's all about knowing how to fix that yourself. And it took me a very, very long time. So only since 2019, I have really, really studied myself, really, and learned what works for me and what doesn't. So there's a plethora of tools out there, and I'll go through some of them over the week. And it's not, do some cognitive behavior therapy or do this or do that. They're out there. And what I always say to people is, do you know what? Try it. And if it doesn't work for you, you haven't lost anything by trying. Because I was always of the mind, oh, God, meditation. I'm not into meditation. Or, oh, therapy. I'm not into therapy. I'm rubbish at talking, which I used to be rubbish at talking about my feelings. But I've opened up. I've learned that actually talking is the best way to get it out of your system and to start dealing with it. I think once you verbalize it, once you hear it out loud, sometimes that actually puts everything into context and perspective a little bit as well. And almost, it's like, for me anyway, sometimes when I talk about something, suddenly the answer becomes a little bit clearer. And it's been there all along, but because I'm mulling it over so much in my head, I am a bit of an overthinker. Like I'm mulling it over. You forget to look for the solution. But when you're talking to friends, to family, even to strangers, sometimes I find talking to strangers is the best way because there's no judgment. They don't know you, and they're not really going to give you advice or, oh, you shouldn't be feeling like that, or some of the worst phrases you can ever hear is, oh, people have got it worse than you, what have you got to be depressed about? Or, oh, you don't look depressed, you're always upbeat and smiling. Well, what does depression look like? Is always my counter answer. It's like, just because I don't come into work crying my eyes out every day or, whinging and moaning doesn't mean I'm not depressed on the inside. So having some of those key conversations is also another tool to think about and to do, is to help other people understand you and how you manage your mental health. And that's something I've had to do with my family, my friends. And I do it in work as well now. I do it in work, and I'll be like, just because I am this upbeat character, and I'll be the one that's always, going in, going, "Hi, how's everybody? Should we go for a coffee?" It doesn't mean that I'm not struggling with something, So ask me some key questions, and quite often, and I've told people, my response is, if I'm feeling well and healthy, I'll be, "Oh yeah, it's great, this is happening, that's happening," or, "Oh yeah, I had a really good weekend, blah blah blah." When I'm not feeling well, my answer is, "Oh, I'm okay." And if that answer comes out, I'm not okay. So people around me, the people closest to me, now know that if I am saying I'm okay, then I'm not, probably. There's something on my mind. There's something bothering me. There is, maybe, don't ask me a bit too much in detail. Sometimes I'll open up if I want to, but, make that suggestion. Say, "Oh, well, if you fancy a coffee, let me know." And sometimes I'll be like, "Oh, yeah, do you want to go now?" Or it'll be like, "Oh, yeah, maybe later, because I've got something I need to think about." And it's helpful if the people, like I said, if the people around you understand your what's the word I'm looking for? Your triggers, your cues, your body language, your verbal language. If I'm tired a lot, I'll say to people, my managers in particularly in work, like, if I do come into work and I'm looking pretty tired, it's probably because I've had a few rough nights, and that'll be mostly down to my mental health and the overthinking and the not being able to sleep. Because even though you're exhausted, and I'm sure many of you out there will know, is as soon as you go to bed, that's it, you're wide awake and your brain's going, "Oh, what about that conversation you had 5 years ago?" And it's just, just the most random things come up, when you're in that frame of mind. But it's managing that, and helping other people around you help you at the end of the day. And the last few years, I've got to say, has been a big learning curve, and it's been really, really helpful. It's been really helpful to me, really helpful to my family and friends. And I had to laugh. Bless my poor mum. She's never understood the mental health aspect, and she was always that person who would bat it off. "Oh, what have you got to be depressed about?" Or, she'd see me going off on holidays and doing whatever, and be like, "Oh, you don't look depressed." She was one of those people. And then when I made that attempt on my life, she came down to my house about a week later, and we were all out the garden, because it was the middle of summer when it happened. And we were out the garden, and we were just having a cup of tea and a natter. And all of us, to paint a picture of my mum, I love her to bits, but she is like Miss Negative. She's like, there's a fault in everything, and everyone is wrong, and yeah, she's just negative about everything, and she's always got a bugbear to go on. Anyway, this one day she was like being weirdly positive, and I was like, "Mum, what's going on? Why are you talking to me like this?" And she was like, "Oh, I've Googled how to speak to people with depression." Like, I was just like, "You just speak to me like a normal person." Like, there's no special way to talk to people with depression. Like, you don't just try and change your whole personality just for me. I'm like, "No, just just be yourself, because it's bloody weird listening to you trying to be all like positive and airy fairy about things. But you gotta love her for trying, bless her. And she's been a lot more understanding ever since. And that's fine. So yeah, it's been a roller coaster of a few years, and I've made a lot of changes in my life, which I don't want to talk about all today because I'll have nothing to talk about all week otherwise. So where did my depression stem from? So I would say that from quite a young age. So things happen in your childhood that perhaps shouldn't happen. And if you do want to read more, you can pop over to my blog, and I've written more detail about it in my blog. But yeah, so from childhood really, and then going through my teenage years, I acted out quite a lot. Not massively badly, I weren't breaking into cars or anything like that, or getting into drug addictions, that kind of thing. But I would drink heavily, and by the time I was 19, I had ended up in hospital 3 times from alcohol poisoning. And it was, at that point, they did think that the hospital did think, oh, there's probably something underlying going on here. But my family just, convinced them that I was just an irresponsible teenager. So, nothing further happened really. And that's fair enough, because they didn't know about my childhood trauma at that point. And actually, I don't think I did either, if that makes sense, because it was something I knew wasn't right, but I didn't know it was wrong as well. I was a child at the end of the day. So, fast forward a few years, I started finding solace in sex and things like that, casual stuff. And so that carried on throughout my life. And I've always had trouble with relationships then, because I've always confused the two things, that this leads to love. And obviously it doesn't always do that. So when I have found perhaps what love looks like, it hasn't resembled my image of it. So I've had 2 failed marriages. I've got 2 wonderful kids from the first marriage. And it's been, I've had a couple of other longer term relationships as well in between. And it is something that, I look back on and I'm like, yeah, there's those patterns there, but, you can't change the past. So the only thing I can do is change my views go forward. And actually, discovering all that, and I did have to go through talking therapy to discover that, is that I shouldn't let that past hold me back any longer. And I finally found a way to let go of that trauma. Like, it's still there, obviously, it's still a part of my life, but it no longer has that hold on me that it used to have. It's something now that I can use as more of a learning tool to help me realize certain behaviors that I go through, and also that especially that sabotage behavior, that when I get too close to somebody, you know, I'll start sabotaging things. I'll start acting like an absolute nutcase. Not really a nutcase, but I'm like a caged animal sometimes. You know, I'm just itching to, like, as much as I want the intimacy and I want to be settled down, I want the secure relationship and yada yada yada. There's something that's like, I feel like a caged animal then. So I need to find a balance somewhere, and I haven't found it yet, where I can have the relationship that I want, but also where I don't feel trapped. So that is going to be, you know, something that I need to work on, you know, as a single 40-odd-year-old female. Perhaps the key is to just stay single for the rest of my life. I don't know. I've had many dating disasters, and maybe that can be a topic for this week. You know, if you want to hear about all the rubbish dates I've been on, and you know, drop me a line, and I shall hopefully I shall get some stories together, because some of them are pretty funny. Obviously not for my love life, because I'm still single, but you got to laugh, haven't you? Otherwise you'll cry. So yeah, so that's sort of where it all stems from, really, right at the beginning. But I'm glad I have been through all the experiences I have, and now that I've got the ability to learn from it. I think the key for doing that, for opening up that sort of education, was the 2019 experience. And it sounds weird, and it's not something I ever want to try again. But it is almost like I was reborn. Now, it sounds really weird to say it like that. And I know, like, I hurt a lot of people. I hurt a lot of people doing that. You know, I lived to see the aftermath and the disappointment and the hurt on all my loved ones' faces. But it was almost like I had hit rock bottom so much that doing that kind of almost reset everything, reset the balance. So I didn't have to climb back up. I just sort of, it just almost like wiped the slate clean for me. I don't know how to describe it any other way, but that's kind of how I felt, really, that I was reborn. Just, you know, with a fresh mind. I had a new vision for life after that. And I think one of the things that people think when they get to that point in their life is that the world will be better off without them. The world will be better off without them. Nobody loves them. And certainly how I felt. Like, I felt the world would be better off without me. And for the first time in my life, because I have been quite low before, and the only thing that stops me from doing anything in the past was my children. That, you know, my children need me. I'm not going to do anything because of my children. But that was the first time ever that I thought my children will be better off without me. That I am screwing up my children's lives just by being here. Not actually realizing how much more I would screw them up by not being here. So, yeah, it was an intense awakening that I went through when I woke up in hospital. And obviously I'm glad I did. And it was heartbreaking as well to see the people around me who I loved so dearly, including my best friend. And she's lost quite a few loved ones over the last however many years, including her dad, to things like cancer, things that they can't control. And then to see me voluntarily trying to leave the world. Understandably, she was upset, but also very angry with me. And I know she still has a little bit of the anger, even to this day, which I understand. And, I'm forever sorry for what I did. But on the other side, I think it's what I needed to finally get better. Very drastic way to go about it. But, like I said, I think it reset the whole of my mental health status, really. I came out of hospital and, I worked really hard then to really improve my mental health and to keep it improved. And one of the things I have accepted as well is that I'm probably going to be medicated for the rest of my life. I'm on sertraline. And before, I used to be quite ashamed of that. And there was always that goal to get off the drugs. And actually, that's coming off too rapidly was perhaps one of the factors that led to the 2019 event. Because I had just forgot to take it, to be honest. I think I went on a course or something for a week or two, forgot to take my drugs with me. And then when I come back, I thought, oh, well, I haven't taken them for like a couple of weeks and I feel fine. So I didn't bother taking them anymore. And then a couple of months later, my kind of world fell apart, really. And there was a lot of other factors that fed into that sort of downfall, really. And it was over a long period of time, that snowball effect of little things here and there all get together and, it just becomes too much then. So it's, and I'll talk more about that as well in the week, about recognizing your stress factors or, and things like that. So I've got like a 14-hour schedule. So hopefully over the course of this week, you'll join me on a few more of these chats. And, if you've got questions, drop them into the chat bars. And I will try my best to answer anything if you want. And also, the aim is to raise awareness and also money. So if you can donate, I've got my Just Giving link. I think I've put it on my channels. I'm not sure. So if you can't find my Just Giving link and you do want to donate, let me know. And I'll try my best to be a better streamer tomorrow, actually. So tomorrow I'll be streaming again. And but I think this one's gone all right. What do you think? Have I done okay? I don't know. Let me know. Well, can I improve on? Can you hear me? Oh God, I didn't even check that people can hear me. If anybody is even listening, I don't know. Is anybody there? Am I talking to myself? Probably I'm talking to myself. As my son said, I didn't really promote this very well, but it's because I was too busy learning how to live stream and I didn't know how to get links and stuff until today. So yeah, it's been a big learning curve. So I'll be putting out more links over the next 24 hours. Well, probably less than that actually, because tomorrow I'm going to do a lunchtime chat. Oh, thanks, Dom. Love you. Oh, there she is, my best friend. Oh. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing lunchtime chats as well as some evening chats over this week. I mean, I got to squeeze 15 hours in somehow. And yeah, it was quite difficult. So I have 45 minutes for lunch. So I'm going to spend my 45 minutes lunchtime having lunch with you lot. So feel free to come and join me, and please, share my stuff. Thanks, Katie. Share my stuff, share my links, promote me, please, because I'm obviously rubbish at doing it myself. And hopefully this week will be a journey through mental health, but also through laughter as well. I hope I'm going to entertain you. So we've got another half an hour of this. Let me just take some coffee. So, right, where should we go from here? Have we got any questions? Someone asked me a question. Any questions anyway? No? Ugh. Never mind. Well, hopefully I'll do better tomorrow. I downloaded the StreamYard. I'm going to name and shame them. They're bloody rubbish. Don't do it. There's no point in doing it. Oh, let me just share this out. Oh, right. What else can I talk about? Well, I'm going to talk about what me and my best friend like to do. So we love a good spa day. So my best friend also struggles with her mental health, and we just love spa days. They are so relaxing. I think that is one of the... Oh, I got someone who wants to... Let's have a look. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you too?
Well, yeah, I'm good. I'm just talking about mental health.
Okay. So how is your day going?
Pardon?
How did your day go? How did your day go?
Yeah, it's been good. Thanks. Right.
Good. Thank God. Fine.
Okay then. Bye. That's random. I don't know how to do it. Can you kick me off? I don't know how to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Sorry, just some random bloke wanted to chat to me on TikTok. So, Katie, what strategies have worked for me? So, I would say talking is the top one. I think finally opening up and owning my feelings has definitely worked. That's the top one. And building that mental health toolkit. So trying everything, finding out what works for me, and then keeping that going. So there are things like meditation. I never, ever, ever thought that I would be into meditation. I always imagined it'd be, sitting cross-legged, your fingers in the air, going, but it's not, and it was my therapist that told me to try this app called Insight Timer. Oh, and it has been a godsend. Mostly I use it for sleeping, because one of my triggers with mental health is sleeping. So I use the meditation. But I used to use it every single night religiously, but now it's almost like I can do the strategy in my head without using the app. But sometimes I'll still put the app on if my mind's just going a bit too crazy. But yeah, so those two, really building up a really good mental health toolkit, and also a support network. Like I said earlier, when telling people your little nuances, like when I say, "Oh yeah, I'm fine," that doesn't mean I'm fine. Or yeah, Dom, you're right. I do attract them. Never mind. Hey, he could be my next boyfriend. You never know. Anyway, but yeah, letting people around you know how to help and manage you as well. Or like when I'm in a really bad mood, instead of someone going, "Oh, are you okay?" I'm like, "No, go away." And like, "Oh, what's wrong?" If I say nothing, and then I'm like, "Right, okay." It's best to just leave me alone, make me a cup of tea in 10 minutes time, and then come and speak to me. But I have had people who are like, "Oh, come on, Fee, open up, talk to me. And then I'm in a bad mood because I'm being nagged a lot. Whereas sometimes I just like to not wallow, but, sort my own bad mood out on my own. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, those are the three tips that I would say. Communication, and tools. Oh, Bethany. Well, I don't know. It was some man lying in his bed, just wanted to chat to me. But there you go. Invite a host to match. No, thank you. Yeah, so oh God, there's all these people wanting to join my live. I think I'll decline this time. God knows what I'll have in. How has your days been anyway, girls? You had a nice day? Nice weekend? Any pumpkins? Bethany's pumpkin went all mouldy, so I had to put it outside. And then some little kid walked past and went, "Oh, Mum, I found a pumpkin!" Mother was like, "Yeah, but it's not your pumpkin." So I was like, "Oh, God, don't try and pick it up. It's mouldy and smelly. It had flies coming out of it." A proper Halloween scare fest, that was. Oh, good, Dom. I'm glad you are rested. Awesome. How's the bump, Katie? Not long. Ooh, I was going to have a glass of wine, but then I thought, do you know what? If I have a glass of wine, things might go a little bit array. Maybe I'll do the glass of wine on Friday, because Friday I have got the session down as Feel Good Friday. So I might actually put some tunes on and we can have a boogie, and I might even make a feel good cocktail. What do you fancy? So if you've got any favourite cocktails, oh, awesome. I hear your mummy's coming for Call the Midwife duties. That'd be nice. So, yeah, so Friday, Feel Good Friday, I might do live cocktails, bit of dancing, and then I'll be ready then to go to pub quiz after I've chatted to you guys for an hour. Have I got an hour? Yeah, an hour for Friday. A bit earlier on Friday, because I do have to go to pub quiz if I've got friends to go with. Who knows? And then what else have I got coming up this week? So we've got the mental health toolkit tomorrow. So I've got lunchtime chats every day. So every day I'm just going to have lunch, and there's no agenda for the lunchtime chats. So we just go into 1 o'clock. I'll come on. I'll live stream for 45 minutes for my lunch hour. Lunch, 45 minutes. And then, yeah, we can just chat away, and you can ask me questions or tell me a joke, or maybe I'll tell you jokes. I'll tell you a funny story, maybe. Who knows? So what else have we got planned? So mental health toolkit tomorrow. Let me get my schedule. Then Tuesday, we've got hobbies. So, how getting involved in things to help your mental health. And I'll talk about some of my hobbies and how my hobbies have helped my mental health. Wednesday. I should really write descriptions on these, because sometimes my titles make no sense. Power of the mind. I think that's to do with positive thinking and mindfulness and things like that. I think that'll be what that's about, I think. Thursday will be, how are you feeling? So I'll be wanting you guys to get involved in the conversation a bit more, because I'm sure by Thursday, even I'll be sick to death of my own voice. So if anybody wants to come on and actually share your mental health story with me, or send me messages and I'll read them out, whatever. We'll figure it out. But Thursday is all about you. Then we got Feel Good Friday. Have a boogie. I'll probably take the live streaming down to my kitchen. So I got loads of gin to drink. I mean, I won't be drinking it all during the live stream. I think that's too much of a challenge. But Feel Good Friday, some tunes and some cocktails. Saturday. So I'm going to be doing breakfast on Saturday and Sunday with you. So hopefully you can join me for breakfast. Yeah, I suppose I can show you what I eat. I mean, maybe it'll be a good reason for me to do something a bit more exciting than toast. And we can talk about food and how food can affect your mental health. So it's all got tedious links. And then, so that's Saturday. I'm only going to be streaming for 2 hours on Saturday. So a long breakfast. 10 a.m. till lunchtime on Saturday. And then Sunday, we got Sunday Chill Vibes. So I'll be sharing with you my Sunday routine. And I love my Sunday routine. So I have my Sunday playlist. I have a lovely breakfast and I sit in my favourite spot. And I'll be talking to you about how things like that can improve your mental health in your own home. Okay, so it's not about you have to do all these like exuberant things all the time. It's simple things that you can do to improve your own mood at home. And we'll talk a little bit more about music as well and how that can affect your mental health or improve it. Blah, 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 blah. And then finally, on Sunday evening, I shall do a last session for It's a Wrap. And I've spelt it rap like rapping, like Kanye West. Is he a rapper? I don't know. Bethany knows the rappers. But so I don't know what I meant by that. I'm sure that was a something. I'll figure it out by Sunday. I'm pretty sure I will. Anyway, so that's the schedule for this week. I shall post it on my social medias. So if you're not already following me, follow me. I think my link tree is out there somewhere anyway, but I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on everything basically. Life of a Crazy Mum. Look me up. Follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I'll mostly be using YouTube to do the streaming. Sometimes, probably mostly YouTube, but also I'll try to do TikTok and Facebook as well. Maybe I'll do a bit of Instagram Live and stuff like that as well. But if you head over to my YouTube channel and subscribe to me over there, and you'll get all the notifications. So what I'll do, I'll be setting up each of the sessions so you can get reminders for what you are doing. Oh, it's a good idea, Beth. Maybe I can do a rap. Maybe that's what I meant. It's a rap. Maybe I was going to rap about mental health on Sunday. Who knows? Watch your space. I mean, weirder things have happened, haven't they? So, yeah. So if you want to keep following me, follow me on all my different things, and I will be putting out more posts. And I'd say we've got 10 more minutes to finish off my coffee. And anything else? Oh, somebody. Oh, he looks quite hot. Let's see what he wants. Oh, hello. You right? Well, I'm in the middle of a live session. Would you like to tell me a bit more about your mental health? Go on then. No, he doesn't want to tell me about his mental health. Oh, well. What can you do? I'm in popular demand tonight, obviously. But, you know, I don't want a live match. I don't know what that is. Jeepers creepers. Only come on live with me if you want to share your story about mental health. Okay? I mean, it's clear in my bio what I'm doing. Anyway. Ooh, I'm so excited. How has my first live gone, peeps? What do you think? I done all right? I need to learn how to like get my live out there on TikTok. Oh, I've had a few likes. Yeah. And YouTube. I need more subscribers on my YouTube channel, I think. Is that sarcasm, Bethany? Or is that the truth? Because I think I've done pretty well for my first live stream. Oh, well. I tell you what, it's been a very good session, I think. And thank you for joining me. It's been lovely. I'm glad I wasn't talking to myself. I was worried that I was just going to be talking to myself for the whole time. But I haven't been, so that's good. And hopefully these recordings will be saved somehow. I don't know if you have to do something special to do that, but I shall try and save these and then make them available on my YouTube channel for the future, I think. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see what happens. And then, who knows, after this week, I might continue to do some mental health streams or chats or something. I don't know. If it helps people, if people come along and have a chit chat with me, we'll see. I think talking is the key. Communication. I could even say, we could have a karaoke, couldn't we? Karaoke Thursday or something. Good. Me and Dom love a karaoke, don't we, Dom? Oh, so excited. Well, only 14 more hours left to go. I think I might try and do a few prompts for the next lot of stuff, just so I'm not bumbling around at the end, trying to figure out what to say. Thank you, Katie. Thanks, Dom. Oh, I tell you what would be good, Katie. You could do a bit about art therapy. Do you want to come on and talk to me about art therapy? Love is in the air. Everywhere I look around. Doobie doobie doo. Doobie 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 doo. Well, I didn't see a lot of it before. Oh, no worries, Katie. That's fine. That's fine. I don't mind. So, I think. what shall I end with? Shall I end with something? See, when I was trying to set this up on StreamYard, and I had a couple of clips and stuff from Mind with some statistics in. And I could have showed you a few clips, but I haven't got them. I don't think I can share them here. But yeah. Yes, Mind is a very, very important charity. And I think mental health as a whole is a very under-resourced department. And there's clearly far too much demand now since COVID, which is a shame that, we know from personal experiences, even for young people like CAMS, the service is just not there, which is why funding charities like Mind or helping people along the way with these conversations and the tools I'll be sharing is going to be essential. So thank you all for coming, and I shall end our live stream here, so I'm not waffling for any more than I need to be. Hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow. Like I said, keep an eye out on all my social media platforms, and you will find out the times and the links and the agenda. But 1 o'clock tomorrow on my YouTube, at least, I shall be live streaming for 45 minutes and having my lunch with you guys. So come along, 1 p.m. tomorrow, UK time, and have some lunch with me. Bye! Everywhere I look around,